This is The Blasters by The Blasters. Stock Records. It is 1979 in Downey, California. The Alvin brothers, Phil and Dave, start a different kind of rock and roll band with childhood friends John Bass and Bill Bateman. The Blasters, not just a nostalgia act, but a band determined to prove that rock and roll was still dangerous. Phil and Dave Alvin grew up surrounded by music. Their parents weren't musicians, but their record collection was a crash course in blues, jazz, rockabilly, and early rock and roll. The brothers soaked it up, and so did friends they grew up with, Bass and Bateman, who all shared a deep love for roots music. By their teens, the Alvins were sneaking into Los Angeles clubs, watching blues legends like Big Joe Turner and T-Bone Walker. Sonny Terry even taught Phil how to play harmonica. And they all learned from guys that had been there since the beginning. One of those guys, Lee Allen, the saxophonist who had played with Fats Domino and Little Richard, would later become a key member of the Blasters. With all that influence, they built a reputation for high-energy, sweat-drenched shows that blurred the lines between rockabilly, rhythm and blues, and punk. They played anywhere they could. Bars, punk clubs, honky-tonks, anywhere. In 1980, the Blasters independently released American Music, a raw and gritty debut of mostly covers of classic blues, rockabilly, and R&B songs, along with a few early Dave Alvin originals like Marie Marie and the title track. The Blasters released their self-titled second album December 1981 on independent label Slash Records. The album cover shows a painting of a close-up of Phil Alvin's face in the middle of a performance, drenched in sweat, perfectly capturing the expressions he makes while playing live. Marie Marie burst open with a rockabilly swing that sounds like something straight out of Sun Records, while Border Radio captures the lonely romance of late-night airwaves. If So Long Baby Goodbye won't make you get up and dance, I don't know what will. Marie Marie and American Music were both re-recorded versions that were featured on the previous album. The record was well received, showcasing their blazing high-octane rock and roll with a shot of rhythm and blues. So the Blasters never had a big radio hit. The album reached number 36 on the Billboard Pop Albums chart. It was also named by Time magazine one of the top 10 albums of 1982, a year after its release. Because the album gained strong critical acclaim and sold well for an indie release, Warner Brothers took notice and decided to re-release it under their distribution in 1982. Despite their chemistry on stage, tensions grew behind the scenes, with the sibling rivalry sometimes turning ugly. Dave Alvin went on to join X and later started his own solo career. The Blasters continued with Phil at the helm, but they never quite captured the same spark. Over 40 years later, the Blasters still sound like a brawl in a back alley or a riot in a roadhouse, with a sound that has influenced generations of disciples of roots rock, punk, and alt country. Or maybe just American music.
Marie Marie